6G? Are you kidding me, Tim? Why are you putting out job applications for people? It's not gonna be another 10 years. Oh my god. Okay, I can't believe this is making headlines right now. So someone has to draw the line, okay? I don't know who's gonna do it, but when does someone come forward and just say, we need to slow down on these G's for a second and think about how stupid this sounds? Okay, you know what? Roll the intro, alright? Just get it over with. Right, Tim. Okay, I know, alright. I read the report from Bloomberg. Basically, Apple put some job applications out recently that were explaining that they were hiring people currently in 2021 that could help develop modems and chips that would be used for 6G connectivity, which has the potential to be more than 100 times faster than 5G. Wow, how do you come up with this great stuff? Now, here's my first question. As a major Verizon sheep here, are we talking about the actual speeds we got from 5G or 100 times faster than the promised speeds of 5G that no one actually gets ever? Because that makes a big difference. Could 6G provide the speeds that 5G was advertising? Or is 6G going to be like 500 gigabit down so that you can download music when you're 2 centimeters away from the tower and you lose service, so you can listen to music when you're offline? That always killed me. I hated how the use case so many carriers were advertising 5G with was, well, it's really fast to download something because then when you're far away from 5G, you know, most of the time, you can actually play back that stuff. It's like, why don't anyone just think about coverage for a second? Let's provide a few more towers so that we can have more adequate coverage in few places and not worry too much about how extremely fast the speeds are. But no! Tim Cook wants to go ahead and start hiring someone, even though in the Bloomberg report themselves, they don't expect 6G to be widespread until 2030. So you're hiring people now, but you expect them to stay at Apple for 9 years to be working on the same technology? What is the plan here? When are we actually going to stop, ladies and gentlemen? It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. I have to calm down sometime. At a certain point, with law of diminishing returns, we have to start asking ourselves, why? I get it, you know, some people out there are just saying, well, file sizes are gonna keep getting bigger, so we need another G to advertise, and we'll need faster and faster data speeds. Okay, instead of hiring people now to work on 6G, could we work on maybe letting 5G not kill the battery life, for one? Could we work on maybe bringing up a few more towers so that 5G is in a few more places than, you know, when it comes to ultra-wideband, a few square blocks of Chicago, and when it comes to widespread 5G, the kind that's actually slower than a lot of 4G speeds. Let's work on just getting that everywhere there's 4G and making sure that the possibility of someone turning off 5G on their phone and getting faster speeds with 4G drops down to 0. Because right now it's not 0. I feel like that shouldn't be allowed, especially when companies are advertising, you know, ideal conditions, you can get 3 gigabit speeds download. That is just downright a scam. I know companies and marketing agencies will brag a little bit about ideal conditions and getting things faster and higher performance than we might actually see in the real world. But when it's that order of magnitude incorrect, that's where I draw the line. You know, it's one thing for Apple to be like, okay, with video playback on the iPhone, you can get, you know, 10 hours or something. But imagine if they said it was like 100 hours or 200 hours of battery life, and then we got what we actually got with the iPhone 12 battery. That's pretty much the equivalent here of telling people that with 5G, you can get multi-gigabit download speeds, and then the actual use case is, oh, actually, if you turn it off, you might get faster speeds depending on where you are. And before you all start commenting and disliking, you already started, I know that for some of you, 5G is faster, okay? And wow, I'm so happy for you. A service and product delivered on what they promised in the first place. That should not be a miracle. That should just be what happens. I'm complaining about when it doesn't happen, which is a bizarrely large amount of the time. There are still many circumstances where people are doing 5G tests versus 4G tests and seeing faster speeds with 4G. That should never be possible. If there are many tests out there showing 5G faster than 4G, that's great. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm simply saying that the opposite should never exist, and yet it does. And now at the same time, as 5G is chewing through people's battery lives and not widespread to a lot of communities who are barely getting adequate 4G speeds, and they're seeing all these ads that say, oh, you need to buy a new phone, that would fix your problem, and then they get their phone and it ends up being worse performing. How about we figure all this garbage out, and then we maybe start start to think about hiring someone to work on 6G connectivity. Most annoying part about it is that they want to focus primarily on faster speeds. I would like a bit more emphasis on the coverage being less and less of an issue, because normally when you hear about technologies resulting in faster bandwidth, it typically results in everyday objects interfering with that bandwidth much easier. So if ultra wideband basically doesn't work behind like the flap of a butterfly, if a butterfly flies in front of the ultra wideband tower, you suddenly lose connection and you don't have gigabit anymore, then I imagine 6G is kind of like as proximity based as Qi wireless charging. You basically got to go up to the antenna tower and just slap your phone against the side of it and be like, oh yeah, look at the Ookla speed test, it's way faster now. But then if you pull it away and it's like 5 microns away from the tower, it instantly drops down to 0, and then you have to default back to 5G again. That's what I'm worried this is going to become. In every generation, it's just going to be trying to patch all of the issues of the generation before it. But like always, carriers are not going to get hyped or get excited about more coverage to new places because they can't hype that in marketing material as well. Oh, we have more coverage now. It just ultimately falls down to, we need another flashy hype term that we can throw around like 5G, 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 5G. That way, we can simply market phones in a very baseless, non-factual way of saying it's faster. And if your phone is slow, doesn't matter if it's because it's old or you're in a place where there's not good coverage, or maybe the reason your phone is slow is because it's stopped getting software updates a few years ago or it needs to be updated. All of those things that people complain about their phone with, it's slow, instantly can be solved with 5G. And now once all of our 5G phones end up getting slow because they're old and they're not getting updates anymore, or we're in a place that 5G is not available because they don't care about coverage in the first place, then they can start slapping 6G over everything again and say, here's the problem. We've discovered why your phone is too slow. There's no 5G in your area, which is why you should sign up for 6G, where coverage is actually even worse. It's a new brand I'm sure Ryan Reynolds is going to be working on. I can't believe it's not 5G. Either way, I feel like people need to hold your horses on the next generation tech. No, we should not be working on this far away tech when 5G is still not ironed out and running into issues. And Apple, I know you want to be next, and I know you were like, oh, we weren't the first ones to get 5G, and Apple is sad that they don't get on board the new hype trains for internet connectivity before everybody else. But guess what, Apple? You made 5G real. You said it yourself, and also, all the 5G phones before the iPhone 12, they weren't very good at 5G in the first place. They got way too hot to the point they would have to shut off the 5G feature. They would chew through battery like no tomorrow. The coverage was not even a thing when they were coming out. So I'll say it again for those in the back. I don't think Apple was late on 5G. If anything, I still think they were a little bit early on it, and there were not a huge number of people missing out on 5G connectivity before the iPhone in the first place. And the reason why I think that is because the most popular 5G smartphone in America actually just came out as being the iPhone 12 Pro Max, despite Samsung releasing 5G phones long before Apple did. Once Apple entered the market, just a couple of months in, they instantly outsold every other 5G Android phone in the market. So that gives you some perspective on how little people are actually appreciating 5G and how little people care about it in the first place. So if that's what we're experiencing currently, there's no need to be hiring someone for 6G. And yes, Tim, this 23-year-old in sweatpants definitely knows more about running a $1 trillion company than you. That was sarcasm, by the way. Some people probably going to take that seriously. I don't know what I'm doing, but I just think 6G is way too premature to be even in the research and development phase. We should still be in the ironing out phase of 5G. So this is all stupid. This is your Apple Pure. I'll see you in the next one.